An article provided from the Heritage Foundation states, since 1990, the number of firearms per capita in the United States has increased by 50%. At the same time, however, the national homicide rate and the national gun homicide rate have plummeted by 50%, and the number of non-fatal crimes committed in 2011 was 1/6 the number committed in 1993. On the whole, the increasing availability of firearms has not been related to increases in crime. Today I will share with you how stricter gun laws do not stop mass shootings or crimes, how the Second Amendment rights are stripped from citizens, and how more education about guns and gun safety is more beneficial than gun control. To begin, stricter gun laws do not put an end or give an answer to violence such as mass shootings or gun-related crime. For instance, prohibition didn't stop alcohol in the 1920s, and now gun control won't stop guns. Shooters will get access to a gun even with strict gun laws in place. Stricter gun laws were in place during the assault weapons ban between 1994 and 2004, but that didn't stop the shooters at Columbine in 1999. Another example is that in 2009, a German high school student went on a rampage and killed 15 people. He did not own a gun. He used his father's 9mm handgun, which he stole from him. So even in a country with strict gun laws, a shooter was still able to find one and use it. Many believe that if we eliminate guns, we eliminate the problem. However, there are still murder in countries where handguns are banned. The United Kingdom banned handguns in 1997 after a man shot 16 elementary school students and then shot himself. Now taking a look at the UK's homicide rate provided by the California Rifle and Pistol Association before, during, and after the ban. So if we look at this, in 1996, the murder rate was 1.12 per 100,000 people. In 1997, it rose to 1.24. In 1998, the rate rose even further to 1.43. And in 2002, it peaked at 2.1 homicides per 100,000 people. Just because you ban guns doesn't mean people won't find other ways to massacre other human beings. Now that I explained how stronger gun control will not stop killing, I will further discuss how it is taking the Second Amendment rights away from the U.S. citizens. The Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, to the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." Gun ownership is an American tradition older than the country itself and is protected by the Second Amendment. More gun control laws would violate the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment was not intended for just ordinary home defense. It also has the intent to guarantee the nation can never be overcome by any military power, foreign or domestic. Another perspective to think about this is how armed civilians help take out the bad guys. For example, in the first modern mass shooting in Austin, Texas in 1966, a sniper in a tower shot at University of Austin students for 90 minutes. The police who reacted had help. Students went to their trucks and grabbed their rifles and shot alongside the police. Another case was a 22-year-old. Nick Melly was an Oregon concealed carry permit holder who was present during a mall shooting in Calabasas, Oregon in 2013. Once he heard shots firing, he saw a gunman with a rifle who had just shot and killed 2 people. He positioned himself behind a pillar and drew his gun. He presented himself to the gunman who, upon seeing Nick's gun, turned his own weapon on himself and pulled the trigger. So, Second Amendment saves. So, guns prevent an estimated 2.5 million crimes a year, or 6,849 every day. Most often, the gun is never fired, and no blood, including the criminals, is shed. Every year, 400,000 life-threatening violent crimes are prevented using firearms. 60% of convicted felons admitted that they avoided committing crimes when they knew the victim was armed. 40% of convicted felons admitted that they avoided committing crimes when they thought that the victim might be armed. Felons report that they avoid entering houses where people are at home because they fear being shot. Fewer than 1% of firearms are used in the commission of a crime. Now for slide 3. Center for Disease Control In a report ordered by President Obama in 2012, following the Sandy Hook massacre, estimated that the number of crimes prevented by guns could be even higher, as many as 3 million annually, or some 8,200 every day. Now that I have discussed how stricter gun control won't stop violence, how citizens' Second Amendment rights will be taken away, I will now talk about a solution: how more education can benefit and is a better alternative than increasing gun control. Thinking of reducing gun violence rates and increasing personal safety, we must be certain that policy decisions are made by looking at straight facts and reality, not by making decisions through panic and outrage. Although some gun control advocates claim there had been more than 300 mass shootings in 2018, that number is found through misleading and incomprehensible definitions that include incidents far removed from the context commonly associated with the term. Since January 1st, 2018, there have been 11 mass public shootings in which there are 3 or more people other than the shooter were killed, a measure taken from Congress's definition of mass shooting and mass killing. Instead of pointing the blame on guns, we must focus more intently on the major underlying causes of the gun violence. Untreated mental health problems, the increase in risk of suicide and interpersonal violence, gang and drug activity that drive illegal black market firearms transfers, and the lack of economic and educational opportunities that lead to cycles of poverty and crime. Today, I talked about how stricter gun control does not stop crime, how the U.S. citizens' Second Amendment rights would be taken away with stricter gun control laws, and how educating ourselves more on the problem can be beneficial. This picture shows 6 basic firearm safety rules, and I provided 2 helpful links. There are many associations that help educate people on firearm safety and believe in gun control worsening the problem. In conclusion, just think, guns don't kill people, people kill people. If we take the time to educate ourselves, now we can learn more about gun safety and have more control of how they are handled. Thank you.